So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azam bin Abdul Halim. I am from the O3A. So today, me and my group mates will explain about applications of differentiation. So my group members are Muhammad Ahmad Daniel bin Muhammad Noor and Fifi Natasha Muhammad. So for my part, I will explain subtopic 2.1 and 2.2. So for 2.1, we have tangent and normal. So what is tangent and what is normal? So tangent is a line touching the curve at a distinct points, and each of the points on the curve has a tangent. So the equation of the tangent is y minus y1 equal to ms minus s1. So what is normal? So normal is a line perpendicular to the tangent at the point of contact. So what is the equation of normal? So the equation of normal is y minus y1 equal to -1 over m. And you must remember that when you are learning or when you study 2.1, which is the topic is about tangent and normal, so you must remember the formula, which is the formula is mt multiplied by mn equal to -1. So these are the example questions. So we have example 1 and example 2. So I will explain to you guys on example 1, which is because example 2 is same as example 1. So for example 1, the questions are to find the equation of tangent and normal. So the equation, so when the questions are to find the equation, so you just automatically remember the formula, which is the formula is y minus y1 equal to ms minus s1. So equation of tangent, so we have point 1 and 3 and slope 2. So slope is gradient actually. So like I said just now, when the equation has to find the equation, so you just remember the formula. So when you remember the formula, so it's easy to you to solve the questions. So y minus y1 equal to ms minus s1, and you have the point and you also have the gradient. So just substitute it into the formula, which is y minus 3. So 3 is come from y2 from the point, and 2 is the gradient, which is the gradient or slope, and s minus 1. So 1 is from s1. So you just solve it and you will get the answer, which is y equal to 2s plus 1. So the answer is in gradient form. So for equation of normal, we have points and also the gradient. So we have point. So what is the point is 1 and 3, and the gradient is -1 over 2. So like I said just now, just use the formula and substitute it, and you will get the answer, which is s plus 2y minus 7 equal to 0. So the answer is in quadratic form. So let's go to subtopic 2.2, which is maximum and minimum. So in topic 2.2, we have several steps, which is we have 4 steps. So the first step, you have to find the first derivative of the function, which is dy dx, and the second step is you have to set the first derivative and equal to 0 and solve for x. And the third step, you have to find the corresponding y values for these x values. And step 4, which is the last step, you have to determine whether turning point is maximum or minimum and use the second derivative test to get the answer. So in this topic, you must remember one thing, which is when s is greater than 0, your answer will be minimum points. That means our s is the positive number. And next, when our s is smaller than 0, so the answer will be maximum points. That means our s is the negative number. So these are example questions for this topic. So we have 2 example questions, which is example 1 and example 2. So I will explain to you guys on example 1 only. So for example 1, so we have equation which is x cubed plus 6x squared plus 9x plus 4. So as I said just now, in this topic, you must remember 4 steps, which is the first step is you have to find the first derivative of function dy over dx. So that means the equation from the example 1, you must differentiate it by using first derivative test. So the answer will be 3x squared plus 12x plus 9. And when you're done for the first step, we will go to the second step, which is we have to set the answer from the first derivative must equal to 0 and solve for x. So that means s squared plus 4s plus 3 must equal to 0. So we're done for the second step. So let's go. We go to the third step, which is we have to find the corresponding y values for these x values. So we have 2s, which is first s and second s. So our first s is -1 and our second s is -3. So we go to the last step, which is to determine whether turning point is maximum or minimum by using the second derivative test. That means the answer from the first differentiate, we must differentiate it for the second time. So the answer will be 6s plus 12. And after you got the answer, the s must substitute with the 2s. As I said just now, we have 2s, s1 and s2. So just substitute it. So s is negative 1, so 6s. So s will be negative 1. So that means 6 times with negative 1 plus 12, and you will get the answer 6. So 6 is positive, which means 6 is rather than 0. So our point will be minimum. So we go to the second s, which is, our second s is negative 3, right? So just substitute the s, which is 6s, substitute it with negative 3. So you will get negative 18. So negative 18 plus 12, and you will get the answer negative 6. So negative 6 is the negative number, right? So that means our s is smaller than 0. So our point will be maximum.
Next subtopic is 2.3, which is rates of change. So rate of change problem usually involve time, t, as one of the variable. If y equals to f multiply t, where t is time, then dy over dt represent the rate of change of y. So let's see the situations. If a is the area in cm square and t is the time in seconds, then dA over dt equals to 10, means the area is increasing at the rate of 10 centimeters. If dA over dt is negative 10, means the area is decreasing. So negative sign has to be inserted to represent the rate of change, the rate of decrease. So here's some examples of rate of change. So the first one is dV over dt, rate of change of volume. dA over dt is rate of change of area. dr over dt is rate of change of radius. dx over dt is rate of change of x. dy over dt is rate of change of y. Remember, dt is rate of change. Next, the related rate of change can be determined by using the chain rule. As we can see, the first example is dV dt, which is the rate of change of volume. dV dr is the differentiation of the equation. Same goes to dy dx and dA dr. So let's look at the example 1. Two variables x and y are denoted by the equation y equals to 4x plus 3 over x. Given that y increase at a constant rate of 2 units per second, find the rate of change x when x equals to 3. First of all, we need to identify which rate of change formula the question wants. So the question wants to find the rate of change of x. So it means the question wants dx over dt. So we refer to our formula rate of change, dy over dt equals to dy over dx multiply dx over dt. So from the equation given, which is y equals to 4x plus 3 over x, we need to differentiate it first, find the dy dx. So you can final answer 4 minus 3 over x squared, whereas x need to bring upward before we differentiate. So we already find dy dx, and dy dt is also given, which is 2. So and also the x is given, which is x equals to 3. So we need to substitute into the equation dy over dt equals to dy over dx multiply dx over dt. So the equation should be 2 equals to 11 over 3 multiply dx over dt. We need to, the final answer is dx over dt is 6 over 11 unit. Next topic is small change. Small change can be determined as dy approximately equal to dy over dx multiplied by dx, which is dy is small change in y, while dx small change in x. So this result can be used to find the small change in y dy, provided that dx is small. The smaller of the value of dx, the more accurate the approximation. So you need to remember, to solve problems on small change, we have to write the small change that has to be calculated in the form of the mathematical.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Vivi Natasha, and for today, I would like to present about my slide, which is subtopic 2.4.2, finding the approximation value of y. Okay, so before I get started, we all must know that the formula to find the approximation value of y is equal to y new equal y original plus in bracket delta y over delta x times dx. Okay, so let's see the example. Given y is equal to x squared, find dy over dx when x is equal to 4. Hence, find the value of approximation of 3.998 squared. Okay, so the first step that we need to do is to differentiate the function that we got in the question earlier. Okay, so the function is equal to y is equal x squared. So differentiate the function, we will get 2x. And then we know that the value of x is equal to 4. So we substitute the value of x into the equation that we are already differentiate earlier. So 2 times 4 is equal to 8. Next, the second step is to find the value of delta x. As we all know, the value of x given at the question is equal to 4. So in order to know the value of delta x, we need to do 3.998 minus 4. And then we will get the amount of the delta x, which is negative 0.002. And then we are going to the last step, which is substitution into the formula. Okay, so y is equal to 16 plus 8 times negative 0.002, and you will get the answer, which is 15.984. Which we know that the value that we are adding and we are substitute into the formula is same as the value given at the question, which is 3.998 squared, also give the answer of 15.984, which shows that our works is tally and the answer is correct. Next, I'm going to present this slide, which is subtopic 2.4.3, motion of straight line. So in this topic, we will learn about 3 types of motion, which is the first one, displacement, the second one, velocity, and the third one is acceleration. Okay, so the definition of displacement is change in position, which is it means that change in position of an object from one place to the other place. And then next, we have velocity. Velocity means the rate of change of displacement. It is also a vector quantity because velocity describes both magnitude and direction. And then the third one, we have acceleration. Acceleration is defined as the rate of change of velocity. Acceleration is measured in meter per second squared, and it also describes how much an object's velocity change every second. Okay, so going up to the stage, we need to integrate, and going down, we need to differentiate. What does that mean? So, in order for you to understand what am I explaining earlier, we need to go to our next slide, which is exercises. Okay, so as an example, for question 1, the displacement of a particle from an origin is given as is equal to t cubed plus 2 times t squared minus 5 times t, where t is time in seconds. So the question asks us to find the expression for the velocity and acceleration. Okay, so in order to find the equation of velocity and acceleration, we need to differentiate the equation, which is, we know that the equation earlier given is in displacement. So from displacement, we want to go to find the velocity, we need to differentiate. And then in order for you to find the acceleration, you need to double differentiate. Okay, so here we can see that the answer is v is equal to 3 times t squared plus 4 times t minus 5. And then we differentiate again to get the equation of the acceleration, and we got 6t plus 4. So the next question is find the displacement when the acceleration is given 16 ms to the power of negative 2. Okay, so we already got the equation of the acceleration from the first question earlier. So a is equal to 60 plus 4. Then just substitute the value of 16 into a. So 16 is equal to 60 plus 4. 16 minus 4 is equal to 60, and then we will get t is equal to 2. Then you take the original equation, which is the displacement one, which is s is equal to 3 cubed plus 2t to the power of 2 minus 5t. And then you just substitute the value of t, which is 2, into the equation given, and then you will get the answer is 6. And don't forget, the unit of displacement is meter. So moving on to the next question, the velocity of a particle is given as v is equal to 2t plus 3 meters squared to the power of negative 1. So the question is, find the equation for the displacement of the particle if it was at the origin initially. Okay, so from this question, we know that we have to differentiate, because in order to find displacement from the equation of velocity, we need to differentiate. Okay, so by differentiating the equation of 2t plus 3, we will got t squared plus 3t plus t. And then it says that the particle was at the origin initially. Okay, so we know that if the particle is at origin, the value of t is equal to 0. The value of t is equal to 0, and also the value of displacement s is equal to 0. So now, substitute 0 into the equation of the one that we got earlier. So 0 is equal to 0 squared plus 3 times 0 plus c, and then you will get the answer, which is c is equal to 0. And then rewrite the equation of displacement, which is s is equal to t squared plus 3t. And then it says here that find the displacement after 1 second. So we know that 1 second is actually time, which is t is equal to 1. And then you find the displacement. S is equal to 1 squared plus 3 times 1. And then we will got the answer is 4.
Thank you for watching.